What's going on, noob stompers? Stop biting your controller. My name is Devolf, and you're watching another Call of Duty Ghosts video. So, have you ever guys wondered, like, when you make a class setup, you guys ever wonder, like, oh, what gun should I use for this game, or what gun should I try out? Basically, what I'll be going over today is one of the marksman rifles, which is the MR28. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you guys a breakdown and an in-depth explanation of basically the entire gun of the MR28 and what I've found and what I've discovered and my experience with this gun used for, and I'll show you guys and share with my thoughts and opinions on this gun, because I know most of you probably don't want to waste your squad points or waste your time trying out this gun. So that's why I'm here to help you guys out and basically just help explain what guns to use and what guns not to use in Call of Duty Ghosts. So let's get started into this breakdown. So first of all, in the gameplay in the background, you can already tell that I'm using the MR28, which is a marksman rifle, and no, it is not an assault rifle or anything like that. The marksman rifles is a new category added onto Call of Duty Ghosts, which was a category you've never seen in any other Call of Duty, and it's interesting because we've always had assault rifles, submachine guns, light machine guns, snipers, shotguns, etc., but we've never seen marksman rifles, and this is a new thing that they've added, and I think, in my opinion, it's very unique. It adds on another category with weapons, and it makes it more interesting, and makes it harder for us to kind of compensate and find out which gun fits us best. So having another new class of guns, I guess you could say, is kind of confusing for most people, and not many people understand it. People think that marksman rifles is another category for sniper rifles, but it really isn't. Basically, marksman rifles acts the same as an assault rifle, but it's burst fired. It's not like, you know, you can shoot fully automatic with it. But there is no way to, well, you can actually make it a 3 burst, but there's no way to ever shoot this marksman assault rifle in a full, you know, fully automatic gun. But that's what makes these weapons unique, because they are very, very OP. And as you can already see from the background, I am shooting people instantly, I'm dropping them, they're just dying. So yeah, let's get straight into this class setup so you guys can understand what I'm talking about, and so that way you guys can see whether to use this gun or not, or whether it'll fit your playstyle or not. So let's get started into this breakdown. So in your creative soldier class, you want to be able to unlock the MR28, which will, I'm guessing, will probably roughly cost around 7 or 6 to 8 squad points at least, minimum. It's not going to be 5 or 6 or 4, but it's going to be somewhere around 6 to 8. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you guys get the idea. Okay, so the MR28 is one of the first assault rifles. Actually, I think this is unlocked default. I'm not really sure, but don't take my word on that. I think you still have to unlock it with squad points. I don't know, whatever it is, whether you guys have it unlocked or not, this is the gun. And it has a built-in foregrip, which lowers the recoil and shorter range with highest rate of fire in its class. So this gun already has the highest fire rate in the marksman rifle category. And this is why I said this is one of the best marksman rifles in Call of Duty Ghosts. And the reason why I say that is because some guns, if you guys already noticed, have integrated attachments in them already. For example, if you go over to the assault rifle category and you go over the Honey Badger, it already has an integrated silencer, which keeps your shots off the radar, obviously. That's what the silencer does. But if you go over to the submachine gun category, we have the K7, and it has an integrated silencer as well. So you guys can see there are certain guns that have integrated attachments in them already to help us basically make up for some loss of attachments and perks and proficiencies that we weren't able to see in Call of Duty Ghosts that we saw in Modern Warfare 3. And I think that's what Infinity Ward tried to do. They tried to add some certain specialty to the gun by giving it some kind of special attachment or something like that. So that way it would kind of help us, you know, help us with attachments and just basically make the gun more powerful and better. And this is why I say that the marksman rifle is the MR28, which is one of the best marksman rifles, because this is the only marksman rifle that has an integrated attachment in it. Now guys, like I said, the accuracy is low on the MK14 and the SVU. Now the IA2 is a different story, but we'll get into that later on in the next video. But basically, just focusing on the MR28, this gun already has a high accuracy. So we don't have to worry about any more foregrip or adding on another attachment for foregrip if there was supposedly to have another attachment for the barrel. But you guys can already see that's already one less attachment we could have added if they didn't have the integrated foregrip in this weapon, even though there is no foregrip you can add on to marksman's rifles. I'm just basically saying, if there was an attachment, we would have to add it on and, buy that other perk that gives us another extra attachment. So thank Call of Duty Ghosts for doing that. So all we have to focus on is increasing the accuracy, damage, and range. We don't have to worry about the fire rate because there's nothing you can touch with that. But basically, guys, the two important perks or attachments on this gun is the red dot sight and the muzzle brake. And I can see right here, the red dot sight increases the gun drastically. So if you go just without the muzzle brake, this is the red dot sight, and this is what it does. It increases the range and the accuracy by maybe roughly 20%, which is pretty decent still. It makes the gun much more better compared to as without any attachments at all, which is the default stats for this gun, which is nothing. Everything's just the same. So if we go into the red dot sight and we add on the muzzle brake, this is what the muzzle brake increases. As you can see, the range drastically went up, along with the damage and the accuracy. Now, some people mistake the muzzle brake to increase, damage and all that stuff. But basically what the muzzle brake does is, if you get into a gunfight at long range situations, the damage stays the same. So basically, if you were shooting someone 2 feet close to you, the same damage would be dealt if you were shooting someone from like whatever across the map. So basically, that's how this works with the muzzle brake. It keeps the damage strong. It doesn't reduce it, even at long range situations. Because if you guys notice, if you shoot someone from far range situations or gunfights, you kind of tend to get a little bit more hit markers compared to as if you killed someone right in front of you. So this is what the muzzle brake does. The same damage is dealt if you're shooting in front of someone. If you're shooting someone in front of you, the same damage is dealt as if you were shooting someone, from far range or whatever across the map. So you guys get the idea of how this works with the muzzle brake. And that's why you want to be able to keep the damage, because in this game, you know how people die quickly. You want to be able to kill them as fast as possible. And from the gameplay in the background I showed you earlier, you guys were seeing that I was dropping people instantly. It was just insane how fast I was dropping these people. So that is why you need the muzzle brake and the red dot sight. Now you can always change the sights to whatever you want, whatever fits your fancy or whatever tickles your fancy. Use it and, just make use of what you can use. So yeah, I also recommend using the blue dot because I like the color blue. Okay, getting to the perks. Now, there are 2 perks or actually 3 perks. Oh no, 4 perks. I'm sorry, guys. There are 4 perks I highly recommend that you use for this gun. Now, the 2 main ones that I recommend to you guys is Stalker and Focus. Now, the reason why I say this is because for Stalker, for any rifle any rifle in general, you are going to need a Stalker perk for it, because, for example, you move really slowly with the guns that you have. And knowing marksman rifles, you kind of move a little bit more slowly, and since you're going to be ADSing down your sights a lot with this gun, you're going to need to be able to lock onto enemies quicker and kill them as fast as possible. And this is what Stalker does exactly. Now, the reason why I say Focus is because when you get into a gunfight and you're shooting someone one-on-one, since this is a burst fire weapon, someone with for example, if someone had a chainsaw and they were shooting you and just mowing you down, your gun is going to bounce up a lot while you're aiming down your sights, and you probably even might die or lose the gunfight. Now, if you had Focus, for the other hand, your gun wouldn't bounce, which means if you were aiming down your sights, your gun or your aim of sight wouldn't go up and down. It would just basically stay steady as if you were shooting someone normally that you weren't getting shot at. So this helps you in your gunfights. Because the key to this is, since this gun has such a high accuracy and damage, you want to be able to kill them as quick as possible. You want to deal as much damage as you can. You want to put in as much bullets as you can into someone, because you know that this is a semi-automatic and it only shoots 1 bullet at a time, compared to as if someone had a fully automatic gun, who's going to win the gunfight there. So that's why I recommend Focus and Stalker. Now, the other 2 perks I was talking about is Ready Up and Quick Draw, but that's just all personal preference. You guys can always switch that up and use whatever you want to use, and whatever fits you or whatever you find more comfortable as a Call of Duty player. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Hope you did enjoy this. I know I kind of went into a lot of in-detail explanations with some things, but hopefully it did help you become a better Call of Duty player. And for the strike package, I'll leave that up to you guys. You can use Assault, Support, or Specialist. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. My name's Devolth. Peace!